Hi everyone, my name is Nikki and this is going to be yoga through Iowa State Recreation Services. It's a 30-minute online yoga class. All you're going to need is either a yoga mat, grass, carpet, any kind of comfortable soft surface, maybe a water. I am covering Nicole's class today, so she will be teaching my class Friday at noon Central Time. So if you'd like to join her in her last yoga class through Iowa State, please tune in with her on Friday. And then we're going to go ahead and get started in about a minute. So, like I said, all you need for class today is either a yoga mat, grass, carpet, any kind of comfortable surface, and maybe a water. I'm going to go ahead and start my workout on my watch. And then please use the comment section throughout if the music is a little bit too loud or too quiet, or if I need to speak up or anything like that. And then it is 10 o'clock, so let's go ahead and get started. So we are going to start class today in child's pose. So we can take the knees out wide or keep them together. Whatever feels comfortable for us. Allowing the big toes to touch. The hands reaching out in front of us. The head to sink down. Releasing go of tension in the neck. Allowing the forehead to rest towards the floor. And allowing the eyes to draw closed. Taking a moment to scan the body here. Noticing how our bodies feel in this current moment. Releasing tension throughout the body in those areas that carry the most stress. Finding ourselves lighter here. And taking one more moment to really find some grounding. Practice today includes a lot of twists, which is really good for releasing stored tension throughout the body. And acts as a really good blood detox, starting with the body.
In my mind, don't like to think for
Starting out, we're going to find a side stretch, reaching our fingertips over towards the right corner of the mat. Finding length throughout the left side of the body.
Be my light. Sunrise laughing 'cause we
On our next inhale, switching sides, reaching our fingertips over towards the left side.
Holy with all the treasure we came back.
Inhaling, coming back to center. Taking one more breath here. Then on our next inhale, we'll go ahead and rock forward to a tabletop position, keeping our shoulders over our wrists and our hips over our knees.
Be my lake.
We're going to go ahead and move into our cat and cow. So on our inhale, we'll drop the belly, lifting the gaze for cow.
Be my pride.
And exhaling, rounding out through the spine, tucking in the chin for cat.
Let me take what is not mine.
Inhaling for cow.
Be my house.
And exhaling for
Strong and
cat.
sturdy. Far from
Moving with our own breath here.
Be my home. Think of all the places we go.
Eventually finding our neutral spine. And here we're going to find our spinal balance. So on our inhale, we're going to reach our right arm overhead, keeping the head in line with our arm.
Be my book.
Taking one breath here.
Head on
And
my
on our next inhale, we'll go ahead and extend our left leg out behind us,
Be my
engaging our core here.
no paint your picture, darling. Best
Taking one more breath. And releasing back down. Switching sides, we'll go ahead and inhale the left arm out in front of us, reaching in front of us. And inhaling, we'll go ahead and extend that right leg back. Keeping that foot flexed, trying to keep that right hip pointed towards the mat, keeping our hips squared. Taking one more breath. And we'll go ahead and release back down. Again, switching sides, inhaling our right arm and left leg. And exhaling to hold. This time we'll inhale to extend. And on our exhale, we'll bring our elbow to our knee, rounding out through the spine, engaging the core. Inhaling to extend. And exhaling, releasing back down. Switching sides, inhaling our left arm and right leg. And exhaling to hold. Inhaling to extend. And exhaling, elbow to knee. Inhaling to extend. And exhaling, releasing back down. We'll do this one more time, adding on one more element. Inhaling, switching sides, our right arm and our left leg. And exhaling to hold. Inhaling to extend. And exhaling, rounding out through the spine, finding a crunch. Inhaling to extend. And this time on our exhale, we'll go ahead and take our right arm out and our left leg out, really finding the core here. Inhaling, coming back to center. And exhaling, releasing down. Switching sides, inhaling left arm and right leg. And exhaling to hold. Inhaling to extend. And exhaling, finding our crunch. Inhaling back. And this time on our exhale, bringing our left arm out this time and our right leg. Really engaging the core. Inhaling back to center. And exhaling, releasing down. This tuck our toes and lift our hips, finding our first downward facing dog of the class today. We can pedal out the feet, warming up our hamstrings here. And on our inhale, we'll go ahead and look forward, traveling to the top of our mats. And exhaling, forward fold. Allowing the head to hang heavy. You can go ahead and grab opposite elbows and sway side to side for ragdoll. Shaking our head yes. And nodding our head no. Releasing go of tension in the neck. And on our next inhale, we'll go ahead and come to our halfway lift, bringing our fingertips to our shins. Our gaze is down just in front of our mat, having a flat back. And exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, reaching the arms up towards the sky. And exhaling, hands through heart center. Inhaling, we'll go ahead and reach our arms up. And exhaling, sinking back into our chair pose. Our weight is back in our heels. We're tucking in our belly button to engage the core. Inhaling to rise. And exhaling, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Inhaling, coming to our halfway lift. And exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, reaching the arms up towards the sky. And exhaling, sinking back into chair. Finding a twist here in our chair. We're gonna go ahead and inhale, lengthening throughout the spine. And on our exhale, bringing our left elbow towards our right knee. Finding a twist here. Keeping our weight back in the heels. Really feeling those legs firing up. Inhaling, coming back to center. And exhaling, switching sides. Opening up our hearts towards the side of our mats. Inhaling, coming back to center. And exhaling, holding for one more. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up to rise. And exhaling, hinging at the hips, forward fold. On our inhale, we'll go ahead and plant our hands down on the mat, stepping our feet back, dropping the knees, untucking the toes, and sinking back into our child's pose. Taking a moment here to reset, really focusing on the breath. Maybe we've noticed the warmth that we've built in our bodies already. Maybe noticing that our heart is beating a little faster. Doing our best just to bring our full attention to our breath, really lengthening those breaths. Reminding ourselves to return to this pose at any point in our practice today. And on our next inhale, we'll go ahead and shift our weight forward, finding a kneeling plank. Our shoulders are over our wrists here and our whole body is in line. And on our exhale, tucking in the elbows towards our sides, we'll release all the way down to the mat. Inhaling, peeling the chest off of the mat, pulling back on the hands for baby cobra. And exhaling, pushing back into our child's pose. Inhaling, shifting our weight forward for kneeling plank. And exhaling, releasing all the way down. Inhaling up for baby cobra. And this time on our exhale, we'll go ahead and tuck our toes and lift our hips for our downward facing dog. Inhaling, our gaze is forward. We'll travel to the top of our mats. And exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling for our halfway lift. And exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up towards the sky. And exhaling, sinking down into our chair. Inhaling to rise. And exhaling, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Planting our hands down on our mats. We'll go ahead and inhale, stepping the left leg back, finding a low lunge. And exhaling that right foot, finding our downward facing dog. Inhaling, shifting the weight forward. We can drop the knees for kneeling plank or stand our high plank. And exhaling, chaturanga. Meeting in downward facing dog, finding our last sun salutation. We'll go ahead and inhale, our gaze is forward. We'll travel to the top of our mats. And exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, coming to our halfway lift. And exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up towards the sky. And exhaling, sinking back into our chair. Inhaling to rise. And exhaling, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Inhaling, planting the hands down on the mat. We'll step our right foot back this time, finding our low lunge. And exhaling our left foot back, finding our downward facing dog. Inhaling, shifting the weight forward for kneeling our high plank. And exhaling, chaturanga. Finding our downward facing dog. We'll go ahead and take a breath here to reset. And preparing for our three-legged dog, we'll start to center the left foot in the middle of the mat. And we'll go ahead and inhale the right leg towards the sky, keeping that right hip pointed towards the mat. Taking a breath here. And on our next inhale, we'll go ahead and sweep that foot through, placing it in between the hands, finding our low lunge. And finding a twist, we can bring our left hand to the inside of our right leg. We can bring it to the mat, or we can use a block or a water bottle or anything that makes it more comfortable. And we'll go ahead and inhale the right arm towards the sky. Keeping our gaze through that top hand here, really opening up our chests. Taking one more inhale, and exhaling, releasing back down. This time on our inhale, we'll go ahead and sweep those arms up, finding a high lunge. Pressing that back heel down towards the mat, keeping our front knee over our ankle. And finding just a little bit of movement. We'll go ahead and inhale, lengthening throughout the spine. And on our exhale, bringing our palms face up behind us, our chest towards our knee. Inhaling, coming back up. And exhaling down. Just one more. Inhaling back up. And exhaling, releasing down. Inhaling up. And on our exhale, we can go ahead and clasp our hands behind our backs, or maybe bring the opposite elbows above our heads, just opening up the heart here for a minute. Breathing into these challenging poses. Taking one more breath. And on our exhale, we'll go ahead and reframe that front foot and step back into our downward facing dog. Taking a little bit of time here, we can drop the knees for our child's pose. We can take a sip of water, or we can find an optional chaturanga. listening to our bodies and what we need in our practice this morning. Eventually meeting in our downward facing dog. And switching sides, we'll start to center the right foot in the middle of the mat. And on our inhale, we'll reach our left leg towards the sky, finding our three-legged dog. Inhaling here. And on our exhale, we'll go ahead and sweep that left foot through, placing it in between the hands for our low lunge. Go ahead and bring our right hand to the inside of our left foot here. We can place it on the mat, or we can place it on a block or a water bottle, whatever makes it more comfortable for us. And finding that same twist, we'll go ahead and inhale the left arm overhead, twisting towards the left side of our mat. Our gaze is through that top hand here. Taking one more inhale. And exhaling, releasing back down, framing that front foot. We'll go ahead and inhale, reaching the arms up overhead, finding our high lunge. And finding our same movements here. We'll go ahead and inhale, lifting throughout the spine. And exhaling, palms coming face up behind us, chest towards our knee. Inhaling back up. And exhaling down. Just finding one more. Inhaling, coming back up. And exhaling down. Inhaling, coming back up. Finding our same heart opener. We can grab opposite elbows, or we can clasp the hands behind the back. Whatever feels most comfortable for us. Just finding a slight back bend. Focusing on the breath here. Taking one more inhale. And on our exhale, we'll go ahead and reframe that front foot. Stepping back into our downward facing dog. We can go ahead and drop the knees and untuck the toes, sinking back into our child's pose. Taking a moment here to focus on our breath. Taking our time, we'll go ahead and find our downward facing dog, tucking our toes and lifting our hips. And inhaling, our gaze is forward. We'll travel to the top of our mats. And exhaling, forward fold. We're gonna go ahead and find our gorilla pose. So we're gonna bend our knees as much as we possibly can so that our chest is resting on the top of our knees. And then we're gonna go ahead and bring the hands under the feet, palms up, keeping that deep bend in our knees, allowing the head to hang heavy. Maybe wiggling the toes, massaging the creases of the wrists. Playing with how much we want to lift the hips or pull on the arms, depending on what kind of stretch we'd like. On our next exhale, we'll go ahead and release the hands, coming back to our forward fold. And sweeping the arms up overhead, we'll go ahead and inhale, reaching up towards the sky. And exhaling, hands to heart center. We're gonna find our balancing pose of the day, which is tree pose. So we're gonna start grounding all four corners of the left foot into the mat, keeping the hands at heart center. We'll go ahead and reach that right leg out beside us. And our inhale, we'll bring it just to the inside of the ankle. And a we're ready, we can lift it just below the knee. And staying here, if we like to work on our strength, and if we'd like to work on flexibility, we can bring it just above the knee. Listening to our bodies and what we want for our practice today. We can keep our hands at heart center, or we can reach them up overhead. If we'd like an extra challenge, we can try closing the eyes. Taking one more breath here. Exhaling, slowly releasing down. Switching sides. Start to ground all four corners of the right foot into the mat. Bringing our hands to heart center. We'll go ahead and kick that left leg out towards the sky. And inhaling, bringing it just to the inside of the ankle. And then we can lift it just below the knee. Staying here if you'd like to work on strength for our practice. And if you'd like to work on our flexibility, we can bring it just above the knee. Again, we can reach our arms up overhead or keep them at heart center. We can try closing the eyes. Taking one more breath here. And exhaling, we'll go ahead and slowly release back down to the mat. We'll go ahead and inhale, reaching our arms up towards the sky. And exhaling, hinging at the hips, finding our forward fold. Planting our hands down on the mat, we'll go ahead and step back into our downward facing dog. This is our last one. And dropping the knees and untucking the toes. We'll go ahead and walk the hands towards the knees. Sitting over to one side, swinging the legs around. Coming to the tops of our mats, we'll bring the soles of our feet onto the mat. We'll go ahead and reach our hands out in front of us, palms up, inhaling, lengthening through the spine, and exhaling, slowly releasing down onto the mat, one vertebrae at a time, really engaging the core. Eventually melting all the way onto the mat. Keeping the soles of our feet on the mat here, we'll go ahead and bring them closer to the hips, preparing for our bridge pose. Our hands are at our sides, palms down. We'll go ahead and exhale together. And on our inhale, we'll go ahead and press the hips up towards the sky. Grounding out through the feet here. And on our next exhale, we'll go ahead and release the hips down. Finding one more, inhaling, pressing up through the hips. And exhaling, releasing back down. We'll go ahead and inhale both knees into the chest here. Drawing circles in the lower back. Massaging the lower back. We'll go ahead and inhale our right knee into our chest, allowing the left leg to go long. And exhaling, taking it across our bodies, finding this twist. We can bring our arms out to a T. Our gaze is over our right arm. On our next inhale, slowly come back to center, giving that right knee one last hug. Exhaling, switching sides, hugging our left knee into our chest. We'll go ahead and take it across our bodies, finding the same twist. Our arms come out to a T, and our gaze is over our left shoulder. inhaling, coming back up to center, giving our left knee one last hug, and exhaling, sending it long. Bringing the hands either to our sides or on our bellies, wherever it's comfortable. Allowing the eyes to draw closed here, preparing for our final Shavasana. Noticing the breath moving in and out of the body here. Taking a moment to slow down, to connect with ourselves. Becoming fully relaxed and present here, giving our bodies permission to soften, the mind permission to shut off. Just taking a moment to appreciate this rare feeling of stillness and quiet. If we'd like to enjoy this feeling a little bit longer, I invite you to close down the video. Take another 5 or 10 minutes, however long you need. And if we're ready to come out, we can start to wiggle the toes and the fingers, maybe rocking the head side to side. We'll go ahead and roll over onto one side, using our arm as a pillow. And using one hand to press ourselves up. We'll go ahead and find a comfortable seated position. Keeping our posture here, bring our hands to heart center. We can go ahead and keep our eyes closed, taking a moment to thank ourselves for coming to our mats for our practice today. And taking a moment to honor our bodies for all it's allowed us to do. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for coming to my class today. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Again, this was yoga with Nikki through Iowa State Recreation Services. It was a 30-minute yoga class. This will stay up on the ISU Rex Instagram on our IAG TV series, so feel free to come back to it or watch it another time. I always talk about this at the end of my classes, but Iowa State Recreation Services has so many other classes, so please go check out the schedule online. All of our classes are 30 minutes and they're on this Instagram page, so if you want to try something new, this is a perfect opportunity. Again, my name is Nikki. I switched yoga classes with Nicole, so she will be teaching Friday at noon, so please go check out her class. And if there's no questions, I think that's it. Thank you guys so much. Bye.